this hard work. So we're not done, and there's a lot of work to do.
Thank you.
But the jurisdictional question?
Yeah, all this is going to happen in Fairfax County Court. We anticipate that Mr. Banfield will get arraigned later this week in Fairfax County General District Court, and his trial will be taking place in Fairfax County Circuit Court. And to reiterate what the chief said, we're not finished yet. We still know we have more work to do, but I can tell you that this case has been something that's been on my mind. I know it's been on the chief's mind, my prosecutor's minds, since the day it happened. We've had meetings, discussions every week, and it's probably a day hasn't gone by that I haven't thought about the victims in this case. And I'm just glad that we're able to get to the point where we are now, where we have these multiple indictments, but we know that there's work ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Katie.
On what's happening at the home of the Banfield home as we speak? I know there's possibly a SWAT team, other police officers blocking off that area.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
We are executing a search warrant at his home. I'm not sure if that is still ongoing. I know that happened some time within the last couple of hours, but as a matter of routine in investigations of this nature, it's not abnormal to conduct a follow-up search warrant for additional evidence, and that's why we're at the Banfield home right now, Katie. Yes, sir.
You mentioned the Banfields had a then 4-year-old daughter. Could you describe kind of what the last couple of years have been like for her care and where she is now, if she's taken care of?
Yeah, she's okay, but out of respect for the families, and she's still a little girl, we're not going to go into what life is like for her, because people who care about her are ensuring that she is taken care of. Certainly, it's probably not an easy thing for any family to go through, but the right people are involved to make sure that she's taken care of. Yes, sir.
Sir, given that this has been a very puzzling double homicide for the public to ingest, and given that you say you can't shed any more light on it, is it safe to say that you totally understand now what transpired in the home that February day with this new information and with this indictment?
Well, I've been exposed to a lot of homicide investigations throughout my career. And I wish I weren't in a position to say that, but I have been. Certainly, and I think I shared this the day of the murder on February 24th, 2023. I suspected, I had a feeling that there was a lot more to what met the eye that morning. And certainly it has taken a road 570 days later where we are finally in a position to announce that 2 persons are being charged and held responsible and introduced to our criminal justice system for these 2 murders. So I'm not going to characterize my opinions about the evidence other than to describe the evidence exists in abundance to give us probable cause to bring these charges forward. And it's digital evidence, it's physical evidence, it's forensics evidence, it's circumstantial evidence. The detectives, the prosecutors have worked meticulously to ensure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted, but the work still goes on.
Sir, just a follow-up question on Katie's point. I apologize if I missed this, but can you confirm if Mr. Banfield has been living in the home this whole time?
I believe he has. Olivia.
I know there were 4, if I'm correct, aggravated murder charges. Can you just explain the nuance there? I know there's 2 people.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did charge 4 different aggravated murder charges, even though we're only talking about 2 victims. The reason we did that, it's very lawyerly and technical, but essentially it boils down to, in the aggravated murder statute, there are a number of different options to prove that. And when we took a look at what we intend to present at trial, we believe that our presentation of evidence can possibly hit both of those different subsections elements. So what we decided to do is we wanted to put all of them in there to give the jury the full picture of what they can choose from. But we anticipate that, of course, we have. The reason that we did that, quite frankly, is we wanted to cover all our bases, make sure that the jury had every option that they could possibly want when taking a look at the evidence. So I know that it's a little unusual, but the aggravated murder statute, the way it's written in Virginia, is a quite unusual statute. We wanted to just cover our bases. Please.
At what point did Brendan become a suspect in this case? I know initially the narrative was that Joseph stabbed Christine. At what point did you stop believing that and begin to look at Brendan?
So that kind of gets back to our efforts to kind of describe gently that we can't go into certain aspects of the case, and that's one of them. So again, there's a jury that will assemble, and they're going to hear these facts in much greater detail than you're hearing them today. Yes, sir.
Again, knowing what you can and can't say, have you been in contact with Brendan over the last 570 days? If so, how many times approximately did you?
Yeah. I understand and applaud your journalism interest in writing a more complete story, and I'll just ask for your patience, but that's not something we're going to be going into at this news conference. Olivia.
Is Juliana's trial still scheduled for November, and what is this?
Juliana's trial is still scheduled for November. That trial date is, from our perspective, we still anticipate going forward on that date. But of course, there could be motions or other things. But to get to, I think, to probably what the nub of your question is, the fact that we've indicted Brendan today and made that arrest does not mean that her case is being thrown out. We intend to go forward with that case as scheduled.
Was she involved in the process of leading to this arrest? Can you talk about that at all?
I'll do it for the chief, so he doesn't have to do it every time. But again, I do appreciate that question, but that's something that we shouldn't talk about. We have, as prosecutors, we have ethical obligations about what we can and can't talk about. And trying to prejudice the jury would be something that could put the entire case at risk, and we don't want to do it. And I think that line of questioning would very quickly lead us down that path. So I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to answer that in the moment.
Yes, sir.
May I ask, I think I heard you say there were 2 firearms recovered from the scene and a knife. Is that new information? Can you say that both the guns were discharged?
I don't think that's new information, and both the guns were discharged.
Thank you.
Is there any reason why Mr. Banfield is being held at the same adult detention center as Juliana?
Yeah, that's where he's being held. That's where, if we had any reason to seek to hold him elsewhere, legitimate reason, we certainly would, but none of that exists at the moment.
Right, and to be clear, there is the one county detention, adult detention facility in Fairfax County. So there was not necessarily a conscious choice. That is just typical protocol.
Okay, I've never had to call on Jackie Benson or Sierra Fox. Anything else?
I want to ask the relationship between Banfield and Ryan, but
Yeah.
we can't touch on that. I
Yes,
know
ma'am.
your answer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your patience. And a lot of work has gone into this case by people in this room and elsewhere, and it's certainly a moment to pause and reflect on the great work. Yes, sir.
Forgive me, this is an old question, something that's already been asked, but did either of those weapons belong to Banfield?
So we'll apply the same answer to that question as well.
Were they discharged by 2 different people?
The same
Same
answer.
person.
No. Same response to the question. Trying to trip me up. No, we can't go into that level of detail. Olivia.
You might not be able to answer, but can you speak to where he was arrested today or
He was arrested in Fairfax County. He was in a vehicle, a motor vehicle, and our fugitive team apprehended him without incident.
Mr. Descano, what is his next court date?
I anticipate that he'll probably be arraigned tomorrow, and if not arraigned tomorrow, then it will be Wednesday. And then I would anticipate that we will have some sort of court date or trial date, I apologize, set rather quickly. Again, that's just typical procedure, but since he is in custody, I would look for an arraignment within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Thank you all for covering this story. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you all so much for coming out. If you want any of the pictures or B-roll we have of the arrest and brought inside, you can use the QR code in the back of your media packet there. We'll also be putting the full details of the indictment and the arrest online on our blog. You can follow us there for the pictures as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.